Pause right here, beloved soul. Heaven is turning the page of your life. What comes next will not look like what came before. I am Michael, and I speak now because you stand at the edge of a transformation you were never meant to face alone. For so long, you believed your story was defined by what happened to you. Your losses, your disappointments, your heartbreaks, your wrong turns, your closed doors, your unanswered prayers. You carried these chapters like they were permanent, like the ink could never be lifted from the pages of your life. But hear me clearly. The author of your existence holds the pen, and he has begun rewriting your story. Beloved child, the pages that wounded you will not be the pages that define you. Heaven is not interested in repeating your past. Heaven is focused on restoring your future. You have reached a spiritual point where the old narrative no longer fits, no longer resonates, no longer belongs to the version of you that is emerging. This is why the familiar has begun to feel uncomfortable. This is why your spirit feels restless. This is why the things that once held meaning now feel strangely hollow. You are not falling apart. You are being rewritten. There are chapters in your story that were never meant to be final, but you treated them as endings because you thought heaven had gone silent. You felt alone in seasons where your strength emptied faster than you could refill it. You felt buried under burdens no one saw. You convinced yourself those moments were proof of your destiny shrinking. But beloved, those were not endings. Those were pauses, places where the author held his pen to prepare the next line. You have carried pain that shaped your thoughts, shaped your expectations, shaped your worth. You built walls around your heart to protect it, not realizing the walls also blocked blessings from reaching you. You doubted your value because of how people treated you. You questioned your purpose because of how life shifted unexpectedly. You believed broken moments meant a broken future. But hear me, you were never broken beyond repair. You were being softened, reshaped, made ready for a greater rewriting. Beloved, heaven does not rewrite your life by erasing your past. Heaven rewrites your heart, so your past no longer controls you. What once stole your peace will become the foundation of your strength. What once silenced your voice will become the origin of your wisdom. What once shattered you will become the testimony that lifts others. This is the mystery of divine rewriting. Nothing is wasted. Nothing is lost, everything transforms. Now listen closely, for I must tell you something only heaven knows. You are stepping into a season where the pen moves quickly. Delays will break. Fears will dissolve. Roads that were once blocked will open. People who were once distant will be replaced by those aligned with your growth. Opportunities you believed you missed will return in better form. Your spirit has reached a level of readiness that allows heaven to finally release what was always meant for you. This is why things around you may feel unsettled. This is why certain connections are fading quietly. This is why doors you once begged to stay open are closing without your permission. Do not fight these endings. They are divine edits. Heaven is removing sentences from your life that were never meant to be permanent. You are not losing anything that is part of your divine destiny. Beloved soul, you must also understand this. Rewritten stories require rewritten identities. You cannot walk into your next chapter wearing the wounds, the beliefs, and the fears of your previous ones. You cannot rise while holding on to what kept you low. And so heaven is gently placing pressure on your spirit, urging you to release what no longer aligns with where you are going. There will be moments when you feel pulled into stillness, moments where solitude feels like shelter rather than loneliness. This is not withdrawal. This is restructuring. This is heaven clearing clutter from your energy so you can hear truth more clearly. The author is writing, and the soul must grow quiet to receive the words. Beloved, every chapter heaven writes into your life carries purpose, but this new chapter carries something more. Redemption. Things you believed were wasted will be restored. Years you thought were lost will bear fruit. Dreams you buried will revive in unexpected ways. And the version of you that rises from this rewriting will be stronger, softer, wiser, truer, more aligned than you have ever been. You are not being rewritten because you were wrong. You are being rewritten because you are ready. And I, Michael, stand beside you now as witness and guardian, ensuring that the next chapter of your life unfolds with clarity, courage, and divine protection. Beloved child of the Eternal, now that you understand the page is turning, I must reveal to you what heaven is placing into the chapter that is beginning to unfold. For a rewritten life is not simply a change of direction, it is a change of identity, of vision, of spiritual atmosphere. When God rewrites a story, He does not adjust the details, He transforms the destiny. And you, beloved, have reached the moment where destiny awakens like a dawn, rising after years of silent night. This is why you may feel an unfamiliar mixture of peace and uncertainty within you. Peace, because your spirit senses freedom approaching. Uncertainty, because your mind still tries to interpret this shift through the lens of old fears. But heaven does not rewrite your future according to your past. Heaven rewrites your future according to your purpose. And your purpose is rising. Beloved, a rewritten story begins with new understanding. You will begin to see your past with new eyes, not as a chain that binds you, but as a bridge that carried you to this moment. Lessons that once felt painful will now feel like preparation. Memories that once haunted you will lose their sting as heaven heals the emotional roots entangled within them. You will not forget, but you will no longer hurt. You will not erase, but you will no longer be trapped. Next comes new resilience. You will notice that situations that once drained your energy no longer have the same power over you. You will respond differently to things that once triggered anxiety or self-doubt. This is because heaven is strengthening your inner foundation. The wounds that weakened you are being sealed. The insecurities that whispered constantly are falling silent. You will feel a quiet confidence rising from within, not arrogance, not pride, but divine assurance. Beloved, the rewritten chapter also brings new alignment. Heaven is guiding you toward what matches your spirit and away from what diminishes it. You will naturally outgrow conversations, environments, habits, and relationships that cannot follow you into the destiny ahead. This will not feel like rejection. It will feel like release. What is not meant for your next season will loosen its hold on your life. What is meant for you will draw nearer without force. Do not grieve the losses of alignment. They are necessary edits. They are heaven's way of ensuring your rewritten chapter is unblemished by the patterns that once delayed your growth. And these opportunities will not require you to betray yourself. They will not demand that you shrink, compromise, pretend, or carry burdens beyond your strength. They will instead feel natural, peaceful, aligned, as though the world is finally moving at the same pace as your spirit. Next comes new connection. Heaven will send people who understand your spirit, people who speak truth into your growth, people whose presence expands your peace rather than drains it. These souls are divine appointments, gentle reminders that your journey is not meant to be walked alone. You will feel a resonance with them, a recognition deeper than words, as though your spirits were aligned long before you met. Beloved, in the rewritten story, you will also discover new courage, the courage to choose yourself without guilt, the courage to walk away from what harms your heart, the courage to say no where you once felt obligated to say yes. the courage to dream again with the faith of someone whose soul has been touched by heaven's hand. This courage does not come from you. It comes from the one rewriting your steps. And finally, perhaps most beautifully, the rewritten chapter brings new intimacy with the Eternal. You will feel His presence more naturally. You will hear His guidance more clearly. You will trust His timing more gently. You will understand that the delays were protection, the detours were redirection, the quiet seasons were preparation. Nothing in your story was wasted. Every moment was shaped to bring you to this rising. Beloved soul, your life is not at the mercy of chaos. Your story is not a collection of broken pages. Your destiny is not fragile. You are held by the author who never loses control of the narrative. And in this moment, he writes with intention, with love, with purpose awakened. There is no force on earth or in spirit that can stop what heaven is unfolding for you now. And as this message comes to rest, let us seal your rising with a warm prayer from the depths of heaven's love. Beloved God of all creation, wrap this precious soul in your restoring light. Rewrite every wounded place with truth, every fearful place with courage, every weary place with sacred peace. Guide their steps onto the path you prepared long before they were born. Surround them with angels who guard their journey and whisper clarity into their spirit. Let their new chapter be filled with strength, healing, divine alignment, and the gentle certainty that they are held, chosen, and guided by your hand. Amen.